Cancer, and this is your all things abundance reading January 2021 and or when you come across it. So if you come across this in a little bit of early February, feel free to apply this as well then and there. Okay, so you have some soulmate energy, some Six of Cups energy. Noticing the stars here, this little tiny spot above that roof. I could kind of read that as a star or something. North Star, North Compass. Sixes of harmony, nostalgic energy, all things abundance. Abundance could be health and relationship as well. It doesn't have to be resources, finances, pentacles, but it could be career, money, finances as well, whatever you define as abundance. So this is going to be an all things abundance reading January 2021 and beyond. Whatever this resonates. Okay, so cups is emotions, bonding, healing. Making amends. This is vitality, nourishment. This is the way to your heart, Cancerian. This is kind of almost a Cancerian card if it wasn't a Scorpio card. This is the sixth decant cup, so it's like this is technically Scorpionic energy trying to get to the truth, the bottom of the heart of the matter. And this is helping you open your kind of soul, and it's helping to unlock your unconditional love, Cancerian, essentially. So the more you are able to kind of find this comfort zone with whoever it is that you're dealing with or whatever it is that you're dealing with, the more they or you kind of creep closer and closer to this unconditional love field or marker, which brings a whole other source of abundance, semblance of abundance then and there. So you just got to keep on working on it. So yeah, you could definitely be in the midst of like a twin flame soulmate or just a soulmate. Again, could be platonic, could be romantic. Point being is that like the more that you kind of nourish that youthful energy, that innocence energy, because really truly at the end of the day, like that's the only truth that there is. Like love wins at all costs. It's kind of why the wheel of time and life keeps on turning, essentially, at least for us human beings, and that's like that like pure essence that we understand in childhood or infants. That there's always a spot of that for us in our hearts, in our souls, no matter what age we turn. But you really gotta focus on that part. And I'm finding even in my own journey that the analytical logical mind has a lot of standards that don't work with kind of the essence and the purity and the spiritual path. The mind is a tool, but a lot of the times if it's just running amok and running the show, then it tends to want to define your reality in the worst way possible, for whatever reason. I mean, it's not there to make you happy necessarily, so it's not your friend. So we have to kind of understand this. It's not easy, especially if you kind of have a hard time of going with the flow, or if you tend to, like I do, want to kind of research the devil in the detail. So I think that's where we kind of defer to spirituality, and in a sense our innocence is gonna be like the turning point. Our purity, our essence, our innocence. That kind of infant child vulnerable self that we still carry with us, that we have to nourish and take care of, and unfortunately far too many of us kind of neglect. But that's going to be our ticket. That's going to be our ticket to understanding, to compassion, and essentially to all things abundance. Cancerian is what I'm picking up for you again, January 2021. We tend to have this divine masculine that has a bunch of strict kind of guidelines, rules, and qualifiers for unconditional love. The divine feminine has her own wiles and her own ways of kind of being creative and creating and blooming and blossoming and expressing, and whatever virtues and values that she pertains to. But the divine masculine kind of provides these restrictions, right? Almost as if to restrict play in and of itself, kind of like Saturn and Jupiter. But at the end of the day, they both have like this compassion for the infant child vulnerable self. So we all have divine masculine, feminine, infant child vulnerable self, and just pure essence in us. That's my understanding, anyways. But point being is that the analytical mind, for survival purposes, and funny enough, there's the Emperor right here wanting to show, and that's my kind of image for the divine masculine. This wants to show up again in another deck. I'm combining decks here. And there's that conflict. When the Emperor, and just to show you that I'm not BSing you, I have two Six of Cups only cards that wanted to pop up and pop out. Pop. So it's like pop as in father, right? Father figure, divine masculine. For the sake of survival purposes and wanting to understand, for the benefit and the safety of those involved, you're gonna want to set strict regulations. But you just have to understand that those strict regulations tend to kind of suffocate that compassion and that vulnerability that we need to kind of sustain life and to keep on going and to forgive and to accept each other and to accept the self unconditionally. Again, this is a new kind of way of thinking, a new way of being, a new perspective to take. And it's just a lot of room for forgiveness, unconditional love to the self, unity and acceptance and allowance to the self, and thus unity and acceptance and allowance for others. Not to say that I can't completely kind of do what's practical and logical for my best health and interest and safety and spirituality, but at some point you gotta trust that, this person is the one, or I'm supposed to be here where I'm at is where I'm supposed to be. I'm who, what, where, when, and why. All the things that I need to be. I'm who, what, where, when, and why. What I need to be. Right here and now. And if you could kind of like reverse engineer, there's also more new kind of science that says, like, if you kind of tap into that state or that feeling of like everything's okay, everything's good, everything's exactly what it needs to be. That's spirituality in a nutshell, is not waiting for the external to be perfect, but rather to find the perfect inside. First and foremost, the perfect harmony, the Zen, the meditation. And I think that's what the Five of Cups in reverse is that if you're too much in and of the world, then, meaning no chill meditation time, no solo time, no, tarot time, or tapping into your intuition and your peace and your inner peace and your inner love, then that's when you start to kind of, hurry up in your own tempo, which takes you out of your synchronicity. Because in the material realm, we're always wanting to make a buck, make a profit, progress, now, but then there's no chill time. And then, it's like when you're naturally trying to play like an instrument, sometimes it's harder to stay on key because your natural instinct is want to play faster. And so you kind of got to teach yourself to slow down, be more zen, shut the brain off, and really, it's not your job to kind of think of every little thing that you could find that's wrong, that you want to ask about, that you want to that's no way to lead and live your life, Cancerian. So I'm finding that that more chill time, zen time, especially alone time where you could kind of just do your own thing, that's going to be very beneficial for you. That's how we recharge. I'm a Cancerian moon, and fourth house, matriarch, motherly, safety, security, comfort zones. That's pretty much how you kind of do your thing. And yeah, so that's what I got for you. Less harsh, critiques and criticisms on others. And yeah, good on you, Cancerian. Holler at your boy for one-on-one reading. Like, share, follow, leave a comment below. Peace.